Brought to you by FlexiSpot. Modded Minecraft runs on child labor. Okay, maybe not labor per se, but from plugins and hosting providers to the mods that we use and even the mod loaders themselves all have code written by someone who was not over the age of 18. But why does this matter? Surely these kids can just do whatever they want in their free time, right? Why do I need to draw attention to this? Well, kinda because Minecraft and kids doesn't always mix, as anybody who watches YouTube knows, and it's not as innocent as it always seems to be, with some of these kids getting exploited for their free work, with one guy taking all the earnings and others just committing crimes and straight up harassing other kids. So today, let us enlighten an often accepted truth in the modding sphere and the possible side effects that it can bring, that for some reason, there are a lot of kids around. But before this video continues, I have an announcement to make. I'm turning 26 this year, and you know what that means, right? My back cracks harder than a glow stick whenever I try to get up from my chair. Now, making these videos often takes me hours of sitting at my desk to complete. Luckily for me and my back, FlexiSpot offered to sponsor this video and give me one of their E7 Pro sit and standing desks for free. Now, as my girlfriend will attest to, I struggle with even assembling IKEA furniture, so believe me when I say that this desk was a breeze, and after an hour or two of work, I finally had a fully operational desk at my disposal. In fact, this whole video was made on this desk, so head on over to the FlexiSpot website and get one of these amazingly high quality desks by going over to the link in the description, and thank you again to FlexiSpot for supporting my channel and of course, my very aching back. Now back to the video. So I reached out to every contact I had, ranging from the people behind Forge, Neoforged, Fabric, Quilt, Sponge-Powered, Purpurred, and of course, Moderate, and all had code or had a miner involved at some point in their history, which is to be expected. Some of these projects started literally a decade ago. It would be normal to expect that some of these now adults started these projects as minors. I mean, this very channel was started by me when I was 12, but with my recent talk with Rhythmatic from Admincraft that you can watch right here, that kind of made me realize something.
The easiest, dead giveaway is a very young leadership team. I've seen them as young as 12 years old trying to run a company.
13. A kid of 13 years old is hosting servers for money out there. What a hustler. I was just sniffing glue at that age. I mean, Pyro, a hosting provider I've mentioned a lot on this channel in recent days, also have a few miners working for their backend. Or take, for example, the popular E4MC mod, which I also featured on this channel, which allows you to play with friends without having a server. That mod is created by a 16-year-old called Sky, and again, this is nothing new. Tons of mods for a lot of games are created by, minors. Which is kinda logical, they have the most time on their hands. Little Timmy goes to school, probably learns coding or whatever in class, decides to make a game or a mod and publishes it online. And what's the harm here, right? Modding Minecraft is a great way for kids to learn programming, especially Java, with entire summer camps and books on the subject. But there are also risks involved, as Codex Adrian can attest to.
My name's Adrian. I go by Codex Adrian online. I'm the owner of Terraria Modding. I really didn't know much at all about making Minecraft mods. I'd made mod packs and I was interested in learning how to make mods. I was in the Modded MC Discord, and out of the blue there's this notification on the announcements channel. They were creating something called Modded MC Studios. Yeah, I saw that. I was super excited. I was interested because I really wanted to learn, and I wanted to learn from other people. So I applied and they accepted me. I got in. The owner, they go by the Coded One. They were an interesting individual. So we start working on stuff, and it starts okay. I really don't know much Java, let alone mod development at the time, and he does provide some guidance. This next mod was the recreation of a really popular mod, Soul Shards, which hadn't been ported at the time, which I think FTB ports it now, but it was more complicated than random things. and he wasn't helping me this time. I was trying to ask for some help from other people, and I didn't get much of that. What I did get though was some berating. I was like, I really don't. I need some help with this project. I need to. I'm not sure what to do here. I was basically told if I don't finish the project by the deadline that they set, they're not going to let me work on any future other projects. Mind you, this was not a paid studio. Nobody was getting paid. Because what I wanted to do was I wanted to do mod packs, right? Because that's what I knew how to do. And that was my motivation. I wanted to work on mod packs. And he kind of understood that, and he used it almost like a carrot, you know? Hey, if you finish this mod project soon, I'll let you work on the mod pack that you pitched. And then when I couldn't finish the mod, he basically threatened to take that away from me if I didn't continue working on the mod.
Now, the coded one is a whole different egg bag to tackle, which I might do in a future video, but Adrian's tale of warning is one that we can all kind of recognize here. Essentially providing hours of your life for free with no reward whatsoever, and then another random ass guy from the other side of the globe just shouting at you. But stories like these often only happen when there's money involved or when you're part of a larger group. And when you have a public mod that earns revenue, you often also see that the only adult takes all the benefits while the three minors in the background doing all the work get nothing. Exploitation isn't the only issue here. There are instances of doxing, harassment, bullying. It's something we see here all the time. And it's either the minor being the victim or the perpetrator of these harmful acts, and even sometimes it spills over into crimes. But the issue here isn't just related to Minecraft. The very talented journalists at People Make Games made an excellent set of videos showing how bad the exploitation of children can become when money is involved, with third-party developers making Roblox games essentially just not paying these children or exploiting them altogether. Or even Roblox himself taking a huge cut of the revenue even if little Timmy made the game all of its own. But what's the point here? Some kids are involved with mods, so what? While almost all of the loaders that we use also have code written by minors. Am I the only one that it's a little bit weird that it's just minors all the way down? It's not hyperbolic to say that the entire ecosystem just runs on code written by people not of age. So parents, if you are watching, you're probably thinking, well shit, I better burn little Timmy's computer before he starts praying to the Omnissiah. But I wouldn't burn his laptop just yet. Adrian, the person you heard earlier and the person that was exploited by Decoder1, now oversees Terrarium modding group. With over 17 million downloads on Modderant alone, it's one of the largest coding groups out there.
I think I was 17. That sounds about right. Maybe 16. I don't think I've ever yelled at anyone. And I would never do that. It's just it's just I don't know, like we very much have the philosophy that the goal of modding is to it's an art form and we want to enjoy what we do.
By the way, speaking of Modderant, Jay, the CEO, started it at 16 and has now grown in one of the biggest mod repositories on the internet. For every story of someone getting exploited or harassed, there are others that just find good places in the ecosystem and make it a career. The open source nature of modded Minecraft and the sheer amount of tutorials out there can really be the start of little Timmy going on to have a great job. But with that all out of the way, let's get to some sort of conclusion. So, minors are embedded in every aspect of modded Minecraft, it seems. Even if the mod you use doesn't have any minors involved, it still runs on code made by someone not over the age of 18. But is that a bad thing? In the big picture, no. It can almost be seen as a great tool to get your feet wet into programming as a whole, but the issue here is that it's not always as innocent and can go badly. And if it does go badly, who do we blame? Mojang? Well, no, why would they be responsible for an unrelated third-party group modding their software where they never even heard of them? The parents? I mean, kinda, you should kinda know what your kid is up to, but most of these parents, don't even know that you can mod Minecraft or what that even means. I have a colleague at work, for example, who has a kid who does a lot of Minecraft modding, and she usually doesn't know what he's on about, so I have to explain it for her, which is good, but it shows that it's like a barrier parents have to cross, so parents aren't always able to be aware of what their children are doing. The responsibility lies with the people who know a minor is involved and chooses to be inappropriate or exploitative. And it's these people that we as a community should police. As a victim of exploitation myself, if anything, this video serves as a PSA that there are bad actors out there and you should always check who you're working with. And we should step up if we see this happening. But with that being said, I was Lunar, you were very awesome, and I'm gonna sit down again because this desk is actually pretty cool. Bye bye. Thank you all to my Pebbles, my Patrons, my YouTube members. This was an awesome video to do. I finally got a sponsor. It was awesome, like getting a free desk. This desk serves as a monument to everyone who said I would never succeed in YouTube. If you ever said that to me or you laughed at me in 4th grade, fuck you. Anyways, thank you all for supporting me. You can get the full interview with Codex Adrian on the Patreon for only $1 a month. It might be free this time, but if you all want the other ones, like the Ellie interview, the full vlogs with Sky, whatever, it's all on the Patreon. $1 a month, you get like, I think it's about, at this point, 20 hours of free content over there. So if you want that, go over and support me. YouTube members get an early access, and everybody who supports me get an extra chat in the Discord where you can talk to me away from all the quote-unquote plebs. So thank you again for everyone who supports me. It really means the most, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.